Parasite Eve is a 1998 survival horror action role-playing game developed and published by Squaresoft and released for the PS1, and this year marks its 20th anniversary. The game is a sequel to the Japanese novel of the same name, written by Hideki Senna. This is the first game in the Parasite Eve series. The video game adaptation was part of a resurgence in popularity in Japanese horror, sparked by the original book, and was released alongside a film adaptation and 2 manga comics, one based on the book and the other based on the video game. The story follows New York City police officer Aya Brea. I think I'm saying that right? Over a 6-day span in 1997, she attempts to stop the Eva, a woman who plans to destroy the human race through spontaneous human combustion. Players explore levels set in areas of New York while utilising a pausable real-time combat system along with several role-playing game elements. Movement in the world map, which is a map of Manhattan, is limited to specific destinations. Upon the player walking over a hotspot, there is a chance of a random encounter. Enemies materialise and attack players on the same screen that they move AR around on, with no battle mode or screen being used. In battle, the game uses a pausable real-time combat system with an active time bar that sets the time that must be waited until the player can take their next action. Once the game is complete, a new Game Plus mode is available called the EX game. To my knowledge, this is one of the first experiences of a new Game Plus style mode being added into a game once you've finally completed it. Although it should be said, I never actually completed my second playthrough. It's different from the normal game in various aspects. The player has access to every item that's stored within the police station. The game begins with the final weapon and armour that the player had before ending the first game, but returns to level 1 experience. However, the biggest difference from the normal game is the addition of the Chrysler Building, a brand new location with 77 floors containing mostly random content, leading to a final boss battle with Aya's older sister Maya. Parasite Eve received generally favourable reviews. IGN praised the game for its beautiful graphics and cinematic sequences, as well as its mature tone, but noted the game's linear plot structure. GameSpot said that the game had a cinematic look and had an astounding level of detail for real-life locations. The lack of any voice acting or singing, however, hindered the dramatic scenes, such as the opera and the subsequent mass combustion of the entire audience at the game's start. Reviews also cited that although the game broke many RPG gaming conventions, it suffered from having little replay value. The combat was compared unfavourably to Final Fantasy VII, which featured a dynamic camera instead of a fixed one. Although it's interesting to say that if you look at the combat system they employed in Parasite Eve, how some of those elements ended up in later Final Fantasy games. So it very much was them messing around and seeing what worked and what didn't work. It just so happened that it was released at a time when people weren't really ready for this type of combat. I think it was Final Fantasy XII that finally implemented this style of combat into the Final Fantasy series. Unsurprisingly, that's one of the main Final Fantasy games that people are very much split on whether they like or dislike the combat. Parasite Eve was Squaresoft's first M-related game and the first major American and Japanese developed collaboration for the company. And we are still to have it released in fucking Europe. Parasite Eve was followed by 2 video game sequels, Parasite Eve 2 in 1999 and The Third Birthday in 2010. And all 3 games are on the US PlayStation Network. Annoyingly, not the European PlayStation Network. Hello, ladles and jelly spoons. So, since I was sort of doing this little bit of an anniversary look into Parasite Eve, one of my favourite games from the 90s and the PlayStation age, I thought I'd do a little bit of gameplay of it and sort of tell you a little bit about my experiences with the game. Can we skip the intro? Although, can I just say, this intro is probably one of the best. I remember in 1998 I was watching it and I was absolutely blown away by it. I was like, God, this is amazing. But let's skip. Anyway, Parasite Eve. Press the start button. I genuinely can't remember it having a tutorial. New game. Yeah, there we go. So, for those of you that don't know, so Parasite Eve came out in 1998 in the US. Now, it never actually came out in Europe, and to this day it still has never been released in Europe. I know quite a lot of people have played it. I played it myself because I had an imported PlayStation, and I could get games from several places. A place in Nottingham called Another World. It sort of did imported. It sort of specialised in sort of geeky sci-fi stuff, but it also had a bit of a sideline on importing games consoles from the US and Japan and stuff, and you could get imported games and things like that. There was a guy at school who is interestingly who I got Parasite Eve off in 1997. And finally, there was a dodgy shop near where I lived where you could get imported games from, and he was forever being closed down and reopened, let me tell you. Forever being busted by the police. Which was interesting because I think he used to sell chipped games as well. My God, look at those graphics. I remember like when I first saw it and actually looking at it now, it has character model-esque wise, it has very Final Fantasy VIII overtones, doesn't it? What's wrong? You're the one who wanted to come to the opera. Name: Aya Bray. Bray? Aya Bray. Age 25. Occupation NYPD officer. Oh, I forgot you could rename the main character. Let's rename her to Jeff. There we go. Jeff Bray, 25. Oh dear. Jeff. I don't know. You're right. I'll try to have more fun. You go to the opera, love. It's not fun. Aren't you glad you decided to go out with me? I even had my dad get the best seats for us tonight. So lighten up, you're gonna have a great time, you'll see. Right, oh, it's me in control. Right, can I get out of here? Do I have to go on this date? Get out of my way. Shit, no. Can I throw myself into the road? Anything to not have to be with this kind of obnoxious twat. No, I'll just run inside. Ooh. I don't remember there being circles around the base of my character. I think that might be a graphical glitch. So, my experience with Parasite Eve. Yeah, I got it from this guy at school who could get you imported games. Let's go in and watch the opera. And he was like, oh, if you like Resident Evil, if you like Final Fantasy, this is the game for you. You'll enjoy this. And looking back on it now, I think he was only giving me his copy to borrow, but I've still got it. Oh, the opera. I remember this bit, it's pretty awesome. Father, please give me permission to marry Eva. I forbid it. You know well what happens if you do. Those who succumb to her beauty all die in horrible ways. You do not understand. She is the one who has suffered after the deaths. Well, people who died as well. She is evil. Gods grab her and burn her at the stake. Father, if you are sentencing her to death, then I ask that you take my life along with hers. Edward, I will now sing. Yeah, because I could be wrong, but isn't it an operetta if it's in English? It can only be counted as opera if it's in Italian or Spanish. I can't remember. Italian, yeah. I think that's. I could be wrong, but anyway. If you know, put a comment down below. Oh Do you know what? I remember being blown away by this FMV. She is evil. Look at her eyes. They're all mottled and brown, and now they've turned green. Instant evil. Oh, he's on fire. They're on fire. Yep. Now the audience realise, oh, that wasn't meant to happen. Quick, quick, Mathy, leave. Oh, I thought that was going to be a date. Oh. She didn't seem that bothered. The game going to confusion. Oh, get out the way, Eve! Oh, Jeff, get out the way, Jeff! Also, where's your date? He's scarpered. See, douchebag. But yeah, I remember, like 1998, little me. Oh no, he's still there. Jeff. Jesus! Don't wanna. Oh my God! Go, get out of here now. It's the best thing she's done to that date. Oh, hang on. Let me take the slow walk up to the stage. So, yes, I got it off this guy. I played it. I was absolutely amazed by it. I think I basically just played it to death. But back in 1998, obviously, I didn't have the internet and didn't have such good internet and didn't have access to sort of walkthroughs or anything like that. Jeff, freeze, NYPD! Humph. You're the only one who seems to be fine. What? You should be awakening soon. What are you talking about, Wiz? Listen, your cells are trying to communicate. They're calling out. And what do we say? We say, bloody hell, my cell's talking. Oh, combat. Okay. Bang, bang. Ha 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 ha. What's happening? My body, it's getting hot. I'm getting hot. Just as I thought. Oh, just as I thought. What is this? What did you do to me? Oh, shit. Come on. I mean, I'm not getting very far. Our bodies are communicating with each other. What? Communicating? What do you want? The more you use that power, the more you will become like me. Power! What power? Who are you? I'm ready to decide on a voice for Jeff. Eve. Eve? Eve. I'm surprised you don't know me, Jeff. You should know me well. What? Flashback, I'm guessing? Yeah, it's flashback. What is this? What was that? Ha 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 ha. And she's off. Wait, where are you going? I'm not through with you yet. Hang on. I'm coming after you. Hang on, this might be my only chance. Oh, Oklahoma when the wind. I think there's a hidden something back here. Is it behind the... I can't remember now. Is it behind the statue? Yeah, I might be wrong. Anyway, yeah. So, also, because Parasite E was never released in Europe, they there wasn't really a lot of buzz about it. It never really got covered in any magazines or anything like that. Police have turned up, and it was a really relatively unknown game. Like a couple of people that I knew about it, but no one else really. Ooh, a ghostly child. Are you alone? It's dangerous here. You should go. But interestingly enough though, I absolutely adored this game, and when Parasite Eve 2 came out, which came out the year after, I really wanted to play it, and I still never have. Yeah. It is really daft. I've never got around to playing the sequel, or the one that came out on the PSP, the Third Birthday, but I was totally out of it by then. I'm going to end this gameplay, but I'm just going to end it with this is my lasting memory of Parasite Eve. So imagine I was a young boy, it was about 15, 16 at the time, playing this, and got to this bit, and here I am going down here. I think you can go into some of these rooms, but I'm just going to keep going down here until this cutscene kicks in. Kick in? Yep. And my dad walks into my room whilst I'm playing this, and he sees this cutscene. Bear in mind, my dad is not a games fan. He even dislikes Sonic the Hedgehog. He saw that and he just looked at me and he just went, "That wasn't very nice." Woohoo! Anyway, Lils and Jelly Spoons, I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, if you can check out Parasite Eve, if you're in America, it's on the PlayStation Network. If you're in the UK, it is a little bit more difficult to come by. There are ways that you can come by it quite easily. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, if you get the opportunity, definitely try it. It is an amazing game. It is quite Resident Evil-like in its setting and the gameplay mechanics, but obviously there's a good bit of Final Fantasy RPG elements in there. I have been Kohigh Mathy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Please, by all means, if you've played Parasite Eve, leave me a comment down below and let's chat about the game. I'd love to talk to some other people who actually ever played it. I think in my group of friends, like me, and I think, yeah, do you know what? Like, thinking back on it, I think it was like literally I was the only person that ever played this game back in the day. Yeah, so I'd love to talk to some other people about it. Leave us a comment, we'll have a little bit of a chat. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I will see you next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Bye for now. As is pretty much compulsory these days, if you like this video, please hit the old like button. Don't smash it. There's no need to be aggressive. Come on now. Just a little press will do. If you want to know what crazy antics I'll be getting up to next Wednesday at 6 PM British Standard Time, then why not subscribe to find out? And finally, please check me out on other social media platforms. Links are in the description down below. And we shall see you next week. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and thank you for making it to the end of the video.